Hey guys, our draft just finished up in the Spheal Gible Battle League here, and I'm here to give you guys a draft analysis. I know it's a little bit of a change not having a face cam, but I kind of wanted the graphics to pop out a little bit and didn't want to distract anybody. But the Carolina Kuribohs are coming back for the season 1. All right, so we're starting at the bottom here. Pick 11 was Octillery. We got sniped a couple times, but this is what I've decided I was going to go with. Its attack and special attack are over 100 already, which is good. Its speed is leaving a little bit to be desired, but its moves and abilities, I think, bring it up a tier compared to the rest of my options at 1 point. So we got Octazooka, which actually lowers the accuracy of the opponent. The Gunk Shot, for a reason you'll see later. Soak, just to change the typing, maybe do a little bit of a weird electric type, coming in with my electric type and taking someone out. Fire Blast is just off-brand, and then Scald leaves you with a burn, and it's Stab. So, the ability Sniper. He has a couple of moves that can increase his critical hit chance, which I think that I could end up playing with this, but we'll see. Suction Cup's kind of not really, that useful. Prevents me from switching out, I guess, if someone's using Roar, or I think it's Seismic Toss, so it throws me out, but I don't see that coming in handy. But Moody is really good. Raises one stat and lowers another. I mean, it kind of luck of the draw, but I mean, if I'm playing, I got Moody out, I just have to kind of keep him alive somehow. He doesn't have very good heal moves, but we'll see how it turns out. So for our number 10 pick, I went for the speed on this guy. As you can see, 120 speed. I think he might be my fastest Mon. But his notable moves, there's not as many as I would like, but they are pretty substantial. He has Earthquake, Synthesis to heal up. Dual Chop, I thought was interesting, because it's a dragon move and it hits twice, and it kind of does a lot with certain abilities and crit chances and everything like that. Leaf Storm, very good for a special attacker like him. Lowers your special attack in the end, but 100 and something damage. I think it's 130, so special attack 105, looking good. Abilities Overgrow, increases the power of grass type moves when he's down 50% health. I mean, it's good. Yeah, that's probably the ability I would use if I'm not trying to get crazy tech, but Unburden raises speed if a held item is used, like a berry or something like that. That would be an interesting little tech to play with. We'll see where I go from there, but Sceptile's kind of, our speed pick here. And we got pick 9 with Milltank. So this is about right here is where I started to get sniped. So we got Milltank here. I mean, this Pokemon is a powerhouse, in my opinion. HP 95, defense 105, speed 100. Weird, very speedy Mon here. I don't know why, but Milltank's got some speed on with those little legs. He's got the heal move with Milk Drink. The Mega Kick, I've never seen that move before. It might just be because I'm new, but Mega Kick, I think it's like 120 damage normal move. Very interesting. EQ, Mimic, I think, is kind of an interesting little tech. If you know someone's gonna bring like a crazy move on it's a ghost type, and maybe you switch in Milltank and do a little something there. Stealth Rock and Toxic, obviously good moves just to have. Thick Fat, so that protects you against the fire and ice type attacks. It halves the damage coming in, which is a great ability on a normal type like that. I think the next ability is better though. Sap Sipper. It's immune to grass type moves. I've never seen this ability before. It might just be because I'm new or I never used it, but it is sick. Like, not being able to get hit by grass moves, you got to plan around that, whether I bring it or not, and that is sick. Scrappy, it can hit ghost types with normal and fighting moves. I don't know if I'll ever use that, but it would definitely be a weird tech to try and get into. Well, we'll move to the next one. So, we got Chandler. I love this Pokemon a lot. Special attack 145, absolutely crazy. The rest of his stats are pretty good too. And, if you get a lot in attack or special attack, you don't really need the other. So that's why I think this Pokemon's really good, is because all the stats, the balancing is in its attack. It's not in the rest of its stats. So it's a Ghost Fire type. Notable moves, it's got that Calm Mind, Memento, Pain Split, Toxic. Mystical Fire is cool, I think. It's a very interesting move to try and play with. It's a fire type move that I think it lowers the special attack of a Pokemon that you deal damage to with it. And it's also got Psychic, which I think is interesting. Someone may not expect a Psychic coming from a Ghost Fire type, you know? It might be able to, you know, hit that fighting type with it or something like that. But its ability's Flame Body. It'll burn a Pokemon 30% when it gets hit. I mean, that's kind of... When I think of moves that are going to physically hit, I think of fighting and normal first, so it'll be a little weird to hit a Ghost type with that, but, I mean, Flame Body's good. It's not a bad ability. Flash Fire. Immune to fire type moves. I mean, what else do you need, right? And then it also powers up your fire type attacks, so it's Mystical Fire plus the Flash Fire. It really is a cool little tech you can get going with that, especially if you know a fire move's coming. Infiltrator, also not a bad ability. It ignores the substitutes Reflect, Light Screen, Safeguard, Mist, so any of those things that's kind of protecting you from the special attack or the physical attack. Infiltrator is a good ability. It's not one of those abilities that, you know, is bad for you, so I could see myself using any of these. So we got our 7th pick in Galarian Wheezing. We needed that fairy typing. We needed that poison typing as well. So he's a levitator. Very important. You'll see why next pick. Notable moves, we got the Toxic, we got the Memento, we got Destiny Bond, Toxic Spikes, Taunt, Pain Split. He's got a lot of access to a lot of interesting moves to, you know, go around. He's got his fairy moves. He's got a couple of poison moves as well, but it's interesting that his attack is actually more than a special attack because I don't think he learns a physical poison move. It's weird, but we'll see how that shakes out during the season. So our 6th pick here was Crocodile, Dark Ground. I was sweating. I thought I was going to get sniped on this one. His HP is good, his attack's good, his speed's good, and everything else, you know, it's above average for sure. So his abilities, Anger Point. If he's hit by a critical hit, his attack is raised by 12 stages. That ability is just crazy to me. I mean, obviously the crit is like, oh man, now my Pokemon's dead, but that's a cool ability at the very least. You might be able to tech around it somehow, but that is sick. Moxie, again, attack raising whenever it's kind of like King Gambit's ability, but backwards. So, you know, Moxie, whenever it kills a Pokemon, its attack goes up. And the one that I see myself using the most, you know, Intimidate is so good. Start out with an Intimidate Crocodile. I mean, Intimidate and then throw up those Stealth Rocks. Like, that's a good start. So the moves that I thought were important, you know, Earthquake, Grass Knot, Bulk Up, Superpower, Taunt, Toxic, just a couple of them. And I forgot to put Stealth Rocks in there. He learns Stealth as well. So he's a utility Pokemon for sure. And he's a ground type. You always need that ground type. So in this draft, we have to pick a Terra type. My 5th pick, because I saw a lot of the Terra types going, was Terra Poison. So that's why I went with a couple Pokemon with Levitate. You know, try and tech it up with those guys there. Our 4th pick, since we picked our Terra type and now we can't pick another Terra type, was Rotom Wash. So he's got Levitate. His type, Electric Water, a very interesting typing. You know, I think overall he's the best of the Rotoms just by typing. You know, by stats, because like look at those stats: defense over 100, special attack over 100, special defense over 100, speed 86. Like really just good. HP a little bit to be desired there, but I mean, when you're immune to ground moves as an electric type, you know, sometimes you can take that hit. So it's notable moves as with any Rotom, Trick, Volt Switch, Light Screen, Reflect, Defog, but this one's got Sucker Punch, this one's got Toxic, this one's got all the little niche moves, Hydro Pump as well, just stab water, stab electric. It's going to be fun, you know. The water electric typing is just so good. So, pick 3, we got Terrakion, Fighting Rock type. So his stats also just, you know, they're all in the green besides special attack. You know what I mean? It's similar to the Chandler, where it's like they balanced him by lowering his special attack, but all of his other stats are really good. So that's the type of Pokemon that I like personally. and its ability justified. It is very niche, but with my first round pick, I think it goes pretty good. The moves that it's got on it: Stealth Rocks, Close Combat Superpower, kind of the same move, Rock Blast, Earthquake, Taunt, Swords Dance. So it's got access to a couple of those, taunty, Swords Dancey, like status producing moves, like boosting your attack and making sure that no one can use like some weird boost themselves with Taunt. He's got the Stealth Rocks. Like he's going to be tough to plan for. And our second pick here, you can probably, if you played for a little bit, unlike me, you can probably guess what my first pick is with Terrakion and Sgbl here. So they did a very similar thing, as I've been saying, where they balance him by either moving his special attack or his attack down. This one is special attack, so he's a good attacker. HP is a little low, speed is low. He's a steel type, so it makes sense. His notable moves, everyone's got to know these, right? Bullet Punch, Swords Dance, X Scissor, U-Turn, Defog, Close Combat. I probably won't be straying too far from those moves unless I'm getting real techie. But his ability, Swarms, increases the power of Bug-type moves by 1.5 when the ability bearer's HP falls below a third of its maximum. Again, similar to Sceptile in that way. Be pretty good for X Scissor, but you're always afraid of that 4 times weakness to fire just blowing you out of the water. Technician, so good. Increases the power of moves that are usually base power 60 or below by 50%. So it's bringing up those, bullet punch type moves that are lower than 60. Light Metal has the Pokemon's weight in battle. I don't know if that's ever gonna really come into effect. I might look into it, but it's going to be real techie if I'm using Light Metal on my Sgbl here. And our number 1 pick. Leave a comment at this point if you think you can guess it, because it's, in my opinion, it's pretty obvious. And this is only my second draft, so we've got Mew, baby. What a beautiful picture of Mew that is, right? So Mew is just a blank slate. It's got 100 in every category. You can really do anything with it. Its notable moves, it learns every TM, in HM. So you got anything from that pool, all the Calm Minds, this, that, and the other. Its ability is actually really good too. You get paralyzed, you get slept, you get poisoned. The user also is affected by that. It's kind of interesting, poisoning usually comes from a poison type, but if you got toxic on some like Polytoad or something, it's going to go right back at him. So yeah, I really wanted to start out with Mew here. I think that it's going to be fun. My previous draft experience is only Gen 9, so I didn't get to use Mew. It was in the draft, but it was taken, and I went in with Annihilate if you saw my previous season here. But yeah, that's my draft analysis. We're going to be starting up the league very soon. I got my game in a couple days, the first game, so I will see you guys when I upload that.